Welcome aboard, travelers. Santa Barbara awaits. Join us for historic sights, ocean wildlife encounters, and a taste of the good life, all on a budget. Let's get going. When planning a visit to Santa Barbara, you might be worried about the cost. But in this trip, we're determined to show you that it's possible to explore this beautiful city on a reasonable budget. Although staying at a luxurious RV park might be tempting, our main goal is to explore the city and its surroundings, so we've decided to compromise a bit on accommodations to make the most of our trip. With that in mind, we made reservations at the RV park at Earl Showgrounds. The RV park is nestled in the back of the property. Although we initially entered through the main entrance, we later discovered that coming in from La Positas Road is the recommended and more convenient route. While it's not a fancy resort, the RV park at Earl Showgrounds has all the basic amenities we needed, and we enjoyed a peaceful stay throughout our visit. There are some state parks in the area, but they're extremely hard to find a space at, so here we are at $70 a night. If you've been following our channel, you know we have a real love for exploring piers. And let me tell you, Santa Barbara does not disappoint. The Santa Barbara Pier is an absolute gem that we can't wait to check out. As we arrive, we notice plenty of parking spots on the beach just south of the pier. But there's a tip we discover later on. There's actually parking available right on the pier itself, which can be super convenient. But parking here provides a perfect opportunity to get an aerial view of the beach and the pier. From our vantage point on the sand, the view of the Pacific Ocean was already impressive, but through the lens of our drone, the scene is truly breathtaking. As we soar over the pier and the surrounding coastline, we can clearly see the Channel Islands in the distance, with Santa Cruz Island standing out prominently against the vast expanse of blue water. This stunning aerial perspective is enough to make any RV enthusiast dream of exploring the coast by boat, trading wheels for sails to discover hidden coves and secluded beaches, even if just for a moment. The Santa Barbara Pier, also known as Stearns Warf, has been a beloved landmark since its construction in 1872. Built by John P. Stearns to facilitate cargo and passenger transfer from ships to shore, the pier quickly became a hub of activity and commerce. Despite facing challenges like severe storms and a fire in 1998, the pier has been rebuilt and restored thanks to the community's support. Today, it's home to various shops, restaurants, and attractions, including the Santa Barbara Museum of Natural History Sea Center. Looks like a lucky couple has chosen this stunning backdrop for their special day. Wishing them a lifetime of happiness together. Whether you're interested in history, marine biology, or simply enjoying a stunning view, the Santa Barbara Pier offers something for everyone. Let's walk over to the pier now and explore that on foot. As we walk to the pier, we notice a well-maintained skate park and other recreational offerings. We pass street vendors offering refreshment, but we have thoughts of dinner tonight. The pier is large enough that it warrants a map. As we mentioned earlier, you can park right on the wharf, and I believe the first 90 minutes is free. You'll find a lot of food choices when you get out on the wharf. The sunsets here can be spectacular. While many of the eateries here tempted us, we had in mind a particular place that had been recommended to us. At the end of the wharf lies a little place called the Santa Barbara Shellfish Company. They have both a takeout window, and yes, you can seat yourself at one of the provided tables on the wharf, or a dine-in option, which is what we opted for. Here you can enjoy your dinner as you watch the boats pass by and the anglers try their luck. It took a short while to be seated, but the food was well worth it. We started out with some oysters. After all, it is Santa Barbara Shellfish Company. And I had their calamari sandwich. That was quite nice, with fresh sourdough. And Dang got the Dungeness crab, which was the special. That was a truly stunning meal. It was really good. Highly recommend taking a walk out here to the end of the wharf and checking out the Santa Barbara Shellfish Company. They have great meals, great specials, and the waitress was super friendly for us too, so thumbs up on this one. We see there are boat rides offered right here on the wharf. That might be fun someday. And if you're not sure about that, they have a palm reader right next door. Stearns Warf is a great place to spend the afternoon and evening, and we're really glad we had the opportunity to do that. Alright folks, after a delicious dinner on the Santa Barbara Pier last night, we're switching gears and diving into a bit of history today. Now I know history isn't everyone's cup of tea, but trust me, Santa Barbara Presidio is worth checking out. It's one of the oldest settlements in California, and it's got some beautiful Spanish architecture and some interesting stories to tell. The Presidio is nestled in the historic district of Santa Barbara, surrounded by charming buildings and old-world allure. Here we are at the Presidio. Just take a look at these well-preserved adobe buildings. They offer a glimpse into what life was like centuries ago. This was a functioning military fort, constructed by the Spanish in 1782. In fact, it was the last Presidio they built in California. Imagine the history that has unfolded within these walls. Let's step inside and explore this remarkable site. I'm sure there are fascinating stories to uncover. Well, look at this. They've got all sorts of goodies here. Books, maps, souvenirs. Perfect if you're looking for a little something to remember your visit. And the prices aren't bad at all. This exhibit honors the resilience of Santa Barbara's Japanese community, whose rich history is woven into the fabric of this region. And this room highlights a unique aspect of the Presidio's history, its role in Santa Barbara's thriving clay industry. Clay firing was a significant activity here, with the Presidio producing tiles, bricks, and pottery for the surrounding community. And of course, no Presidio would be complete without its big guns. Well, would you look at that? This is where the tour starts. Guess we've been doing things a little backwards, haven't we? Oh well, no harm done. Just goes to show you don't always need a map to explore a new place. This was dedicated by the Sons of the American Revolution. I didn't know they had a connection to this place. Now what are they doing with this giant pizza oven out here? Or is that a kiln? These simple living quarters reflect the Franciscan Padres' dedication to a life of faith and service. With few possessions, they focused on their spiritual mission and the needs of the community. What a contrast to the Spartan living quarters. This vibrant chapel served as the heart of the Presidio, a place for solace, reflection, and community. Well, what have we here? An aqueduct system providing running water to the Presidio as early as the 1700s. This impressive feat of engineering brought fresh water from Mission Creek directly into the fort, after which it was disposed of in the agriculture fields. Apparently, the commandant had his own personal cannon. And his living quarters were even named after his position. What we're looking at here is a reconstructed version after the original was damaged in an earthquake back in 1812. These quarters are a far cry nicer than those the Padre lived in. The Commandant was a very powerful figure, having authority over both the military and the civilian population of this area. Well, this was a great tour and we learned a lot. Now let's move on. Up ahead, folks, is Mission Santa Barbara, often called the Queen of the Missions. Google's routed us through a residential area to get to the mission, and I'm not sure if there's a more direct route or not. This beauty was founded in 1786 and is still run by the Franciscan friars today. It's got a unique history, including surviving a major earthquake and serving as the headquarters for all California missions at one point. Folks, if you're planning on visiting the mission in your RV, be warned, some of the streets are tight. Even our F-250 had to squeeze through some spots. Might be best to unhitch and explore on foot or find some place to park further out. Let's park behind this trailer up here. I'd love to see how they got that thing in here. The park across the street from the mission is owned and operated by the city of Santa Barbara, and it's a popular place to visit in its own right. It boasts a beautiful, well-maintained rose garden, making it a popular place for wedding ceremonies. And look at this unexpected oasis, a succulent garden thriving in the California coastal climate. The fountain and the grounds in general are in great shape and well cared for. Do you think these are table grapes? This sign's impossible to read. If you know what it's supposed to say, drop us a comment. This mission has some serious bells. I can't imagine how loud it is right next to them. Well, folks, it turns out you need a permit to film inside the mission. We didn't realize that, but we figured it wouldn't hurt to ask. So, while we're a little disappointed we can't show you the inside today, we're not going to let that ruin our fun. Instead, we're going to go explore this gorgeous rose garden across the street and then enjoy a lovely lunch we packed. This pepper tree provides the perfect shade for a picnic, and there's even a bench. With our bellies full, we head back towards the Presidio to walk around and see what the surrounding area has to offer. Well, well, what have we stumbled upon? Kunin Wines. Looks like a cozy spot for a little wine tasting. Let's see what they have to offer.
Then on the reds, 2019 Popstar. This is the wine. They put our name on the map back in the early 2000s. Got its namesake from the Châteauneuf du Pape in France. Which was the area that inspired which grapes we originally wanted to work with.
Okay.
GSM blend, so Grenache, Syrah, and Mourvedre with a little bit of Cinsault in there. Super approachable, awesome table wine. Good for cooking, good for drinking, and everything in between. Our distribution is pretty small. We're a small winery, lower end, only 80 tons of grapes a year, which is small even for the small end.
And then for you, we have a 2019 Mourvedre, which is like the M in GSM. Typically part of a blend, but here we have it by itself. It blends itself really well.
Thank you, Jared and Marley. Your expertise and top-level service made the wines at Kunin even more enjoyable. Yesterday, while at Kunin, we inquired about places where we might fly our drone, and we were pointed to the Douglas Family Preserve. After carefully checking both airspace and park regulations, we found nothing precluding drone operation, so we set out exploring. This is a beautiful wooded preserve which bumps right up against the Pacific Ocean. As we walked, we heard what appeared to be a fight. They're filming. It's a film. It turned out to be a movie set. That sure was a surprise. Continuing on, we're looking for a good place to launch from. There's some old building remains out here. I wonder what the story behind this is. Okay, this explains things. Had we seen this first, there would have been a lot less confusion. The preserve is a very popular place to walk dogs, and while we love dogs, they sometimes don't get along well with drones. The last thing we want is to launch our drone over the cliff and have some poor dog try to catch it. But time is on our side, and we can wait until the coast is clear. No pun intended. Then, once everything looked clear, I'm not recording. Finally, it's our turn. And it was well worth the wait. We spot a little public beach just north of us. This is Arroyo Burro Beach County Park, aka Hendry's Beach. The water is very clear this morning, and the clouds are burning off to expose the mountains inland. There is little wind and no real chop on the surface. Maybe we'll get lucky and see some fish down there. Hopefully these folks know when the high tide is coming. It could be easy to get stranded. Man, that person is really moving. Hey, what's that? Are those dolphins? And here comes a lone kayaker. I wonder if he knows they are out here and is coming to say hi. Now, I'm no marine biologist, but they look like dolphin to me. Let us know in the comments what you think. I'm pretty sure they're not sharks, which is good for this guy. I can't tell if he's fishing out there or not. Let's do a quick check on where we are. Look at these guys go. A pod of dolphins right off the coast of the Douglas Family Preserve. They're having a blast out there, playing and hunting. You know, even though they don't raise their young here, the Santa Barbara Channel Islands is like a playground for dolphins of all ages. Well, this was in fact an excellent place to put the drone up. We're quite lucky to catch those dolphin, or whatever they were. Now it's time to head back to camp. We have really enjoyed the Santa Barbara experience, and although we didn't splurge on accommodations, we found ourselves very pleased nonetheless. If you enjoyed this video, please like and perhaps subscribe to our channel. That helps us continue producing content like this. And also, we'd love to hear from you. Please drop us a comment. Thanks for watching.